Okay, so we're almost there. Now we know how to add items to our to-do list, and we can also check those items off to mark them as completed. So our next step is actually working with that remove element. We want to be able to revise our to-do list at some point. We'd like to be able to remove items. So looking back at our A tag here, this is our element that we're going to be working with next. It has the class remove. So you might be thinking that that's going to be our next selector. Well, similarly to the checkbox that we weren't able to target because it wasn't in the initial DOM, we're going to have to use the same type of method of document.on in order to listen for a click on this remove class here. So we know how to go ahead and get that set up now. We're going to target our currently up-to-date document on. And in this case, we're going to be listening for that X being clicked. So we're going to use our click event once again. Let's pass in our actual element, and our selector in this case is going to be our remove class. And let's then figure out what our actual handler is going to be. So what do we want to happen when this X is actually clicked? Well, going back to our DOM visualization again, we have our list item, and we acknowledge that the list item is the parent of the checkbox input. Additionally, our A tag with the class remove and our X here, it's a sibling of our input element. Therefore, they are both children of the list item. So I may just be repeating myself here, but I really want to illustrate that once again, when even in the context of this A tag here, the list item is still the A tag's parent. So just as we did in the last function, we're actually going to be targeting the list item. The list item is what we want to actually remove. So going back into the documentation for jQuery, let's go ahead and go back to that section on manipulation. That's where we learn to actually add elements to the DOM. So let's see if there's anything here about removal. So clearly, in the section called DOM removal, let's see what's available to us. So several methods, and in this case, we just simply want to use remove. We want to remove the element specified from the DOM. So we can go ahead and copy and paste this method. Going back into our code, we're going to say this list item, which in this case is our this.parent, we want to remove you. So one too many dots there. We are just chaining this remove method on to our actual list item. So let's go ahead and run that. Returning to the browser, now we're going to go ahead and add another item. My item names are just going to get worse and worse from this point on. We're going to add that item to our to-do list. Now we know that we can mark it as complete or incomplete. And let's see if what we actually wanted to accomplish works, which is removing this DOM element. All right, so there we are. We're actually now able to remove and add elements to our DOM.